Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner Classic Let's Known Classic. This is episode number 3162. Doubleshot 3056. Two trades doing crossovers. First up we have is Infinity War. Yep. Yeah. So this book collects the entire Infinity War miniseries along with Warlock and Infinity Watch 7 through 10 and material from Marvel Comics Presents number 108 through 111. The way the order this trade does it is weird. It's like they had initial miniseries and then Warlock Infinity Watch and then the Marvel Comics Presents stuff. Marvel Comics Presents stuff is mostly put what Thanos was doing on his own. Separately with Death, and it's called I, Thanos. It's a quick 4-part short story told across 4 issues, and that's all there for that one. The Infinity Watch stuff was mostly put Thanos getting involved with the Infinity Watch and becoming an actual member of the group. Yes. That's kind of what happens over the course of 4 issues. Yeah, a group that was formed in the aftermath of Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, and you have Jim Starlin pretty much write everything in this book with Rob Lim, Tom Rooney, Angel Medina, Larry Alexander, and Sean McManus doing all the artwork here. And the issues themselves are really good. It's weird though Thanos get involved with a group that basically deals with protecting the Infinity Gems. That's the whole purpose of Infinity Watch. And this is the guy who had the hunt for these things during the original Infinity Gauntlet. And he just gives up and retires. It's like the period of time, oh, let's make him a... We also basically have appearances here about the Mole Man because they got Monster Island in issue 7. And it's still the same for you. Admiral Gamora, Pip the Troll, Moondragon, Drax Destroyer, and Thanos joins in issue number 8 of the book because, of course, it deals with Infinity War. And we have to deal with Thanos fighting his doppelganger in these issues. Which, of course, he does eventually kill his own doppelganger. Yes, he does. Yeah, and this takes place during issue 3, issue 8. But I gotta admit, basically, it's like, I guess in the case of this book, it's like, no one bothers to ask Gamora, how do you feel about your old man being part of the team? I don't think she gives a damn about that. All she cares about is the fact, a lot of the time, is that she's hot. And the fact all the men want her. And the fact that she has slept with several different men across Marvel Comics. She has slept with Adam Warlock, Richard Rider. Heck, she even slept with Tony Stark. Yes, this is what I must say completely true. And then later on, I think it was Al Ewing who did this. He had it where, I think it was prior to the Infinity Wars crossover, he had it where Star-Lord slept with Gamora as well. So, she has slept with 4 different guys. And the only guy she was kind of serious for was Star-Lord. Well, that's because of the movies. Yeah, that's kind of what it is with that one. And also, Magnus gets involved here too. Yeah, but overall, this book was a lot of fun. I'm going to give this book a 10 out of 10. Can't say the same thing about basically Civil War II choosing sides. This was a 6-issue miniseries released in 2016. And This is just an anthology book. Yes. Oh, by the way, Gamora's by herself, issue 9. And then for issue 10... So, this book is roughly an anthology book with various different writers and artists doing various different stories. You have writers Duncan Selvey, Brandon Eston, Chad Bowers, Chris Sims, Jeremy Whitley, Brandon Thomas, Meg Doyle, Derek Landy, Chuck Brown, John Allison, Chip Zdarsky, Edric Karen, Chelsea Kane. And yeah, she writes a story in issue 6, and like the only other thing she's ever, that Marvel Comics ever released written by her. And Christina Strain. Artwork, Duncan Selvey, Peter Davidson, Paul Davidson, Leonardo Romero, Margaret Savage, Mark Rudy, Stephen Byrne, Felipe Andre, Chris Visions, Res Kempe, Ramon Perez, ex-Narcias, Anna Papilla, Marco, Allison Simpson, and Senna Takata. Now, you might be asking me, Nick, have any of these people? No, I haven't. I've never met any people at all. So, this book just contains the 6-issue miniseries, plus they have this past prologue stuff, which focuses on Nick Fury Jr., where stuff related with S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, and he has to do with meeting up with what looked like his father, but turns out it's actually not him, just LMD. And then we also have a story involving, in this issue, of like Moon Knight being a bunch of thugs. And he switches from his Mr. Knight outfit to his outfit that Jeff Lemire introduced during his run, the look he had in that book, by Kusatsu. Then turns out this Moon Knight is actually not Moon Knight, but actually just Nick Fury. And they go to S.H.I.E.L.D. base. Looks like it's out of the Thing, this place. And he goes in, and, well... yeah, and then he goes see... then we run into the Black Widow, this excellent artwork. And then after avoiding her, and then he breaks, like, oh, look, it's his old man. Except that, nope, you're not him. LMD... and then eventually they destroy the LMD. And then look like he just kind of does something of his own, burns remains the LMD, and it just kind of disappears. And of course they had to get him the scars across the eye like the 616 version for some reason. My guess is that was probably editorial telling the artist, hey, can you give Nick Fury Jr. scars across his eye just like Samuel Jackson does in movies? I guess they figured, oh, heck, why not? Yeah, and then we have a Night Thrasher story, which I point out, though, it's also a Damage Control. That's Chad Bowers and Chris Sims. Yes. This is interesting to say the least. Now, the first issue, after basically the whole Nick Fury, so they put all that first, and then they put focus on Night Thrasher. And this is the original Night Thrasher just coming back to life. Yeah, so this is the one that popped up at Contest of Champions. We have first appearance of a character named Tina. She's just a one-shot character. Yeah, basically, Night Thrasher's book is a time dispatch their entire. And then we have Thrall the Inhuman joining Damage Control, which is basically a sentient crane who debuted back in Tales of Osiris 21 back in 1961, who, part of the story, had previously appeared in Ghost Rider Heavens on Fire. And then appears in this book, and there's a little bit of damage to Volume 4, and that was it. In the second issue, Focus on the Ultimates. The Spypack is mentioned War Machine, but he's dead. It is mostly put them dealing with the Rhodey's death. And we have the first appearance of Rangers of Earth 55. It's like a what if scenario because why not? Marvel loves what ifs. And then we have a story involving Tom Foster, the nephew of the Black Goliath, nephew of Bill Foster. Yep, there's a story involving him too. And then issue 3, the opening story is a Kate Bishop one with the New Avengers. I'm surprised the story was not collected in New Avengers trade. And it's not written by Al Ewing or Jeff Lemire. Ming Doi writes this issue. It's basically Kate Bishop dealing with muggers. And then started J. Jonah Jameson working for the Fact Channel. So in the McSweeney who debuts the shoot says the whole thing this one is just dealing with the trial of the Fact Channel News was something that Dan Slott created and J. James was part of them, but not anymore. Yeah. And then issue 4, we focus on the Punisher, with him killing criminals in prison. At the Triskelion. Yes, the 616 version of this damn place. Yep, they feature this here. Yes, and then we have a story focused on Power Pack. Yep, Power Pack. And Chuck Brown does the Punisher story, and John Allison does the Power Pack one. Issue 5 focuses on Alpha Flight. This is probably just, and of course the debut of the minister, Justin Tazru, who is only this one issue because the next time we have the Prime Minister candidate show up, it's a completely different person. Yeah. And it's mostly put Alpha Flight taking 2 members of the Wrecking Crew. And then we have Colleen Wing. That the story is called, except it's a Midnight story. And then we have a debut guy called Huntstalker, who is a one-shot character. And it's also about dealing with the new version of, it's basically him working with the Howling Commandos. Oh, and the Alpha Flight here, this is the Alpha Flight space program. And the final issue features a story focused on Jessica Jones in the very first story written by Chelsea Kane, who later did Mockingbird, and that was it. It's just a story involving her, involving these people called the Canes. And then we have a White Fox, and we have White Fox, which of course, this is the character debuted in Avengers Electric Reign. You're thinking, what the heck is that? I think this was like a novel. Oh, it's some Korean game. And this book here just reveals the real name. And somehow they get involved with Alpha Flight. Yeah, but the whole thing with this book, it's interesting. None of the stories here are bad. It's okay. Love the artwork though. The cover artwork is fantastic. Give it an 8 out of 10. And with this, and as far as I can tell, there is one book left for Civil War to the cover, and that is Rocket Raccoon and Groot. I'll cover that at some other point. I'll cover that sometime. I'll cover that. But aside from that, all the main tie-ins are all done. Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me. So yeah, that's be pretty much it for particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Oh, another thing. You're probably thinking, does Spider-Man have a role in this book? No. Not really. Just like the main book, Spider-Man's in like one issue of the entire event, and then he's shoved over his tie-in. And this was the period of time where like Marvel was very reluctant to feature Spider-Man in a crossover. This one was Secret Empire. It's like the writers of this crossover really wanting with Spider-Man, but somehow Dan Slott said no, you can't use him for reasons, possibly. Yeah. But now what to say about these two books. That'll be pretty much a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Sentai and Comic Corner. Bye. Bye.